All right. Hey, Dream Team. This is Melanie Mitro. Welcome to our Monday night team call. I'm really excited to have you all here. It is the week of Christmas. There's a lot going on. Everybody has about a bazillion different directions than you're being pulled in. So I appreciate you guys taking the time tonight to be on our team call. We've got a pretty awesome call planned for you. As you can see, there's some fabulous faces on here of some of our brand new elite and premier coaches that are going to be sharing with you their top tips for success in 2014. So it's going to be like a 3 to 5 minute, everybody's going to kind of talk, say what they learned, and then they're going to give you something to take away and do. So as you're planning your goals for the year and you're really thinking about where you want your business to go, this can be some great things to help you kind of get a game plan and a focus and a daily to-do list together. All right, so just a couple of announcements before we jump into that. So Super Saturday is coming up, and that is January 9th or 10th. It's that weekend. It could be the 11th also. So if you are not registered to attend a Super Saturday event, go into the Coach Online office under the events section and find a Super Saturday. You can look up a location based on your state, find one that's near you, and go. It's not team specific, so you don't have to go to an event that's hosted by a coach on your team or somebody you know. It is basically anybody comes together, a coach hosts it, and basically you're going to find out what the top 10 trip is for 2015, what the Success Club trip is. You're going to find out what the new rewards programs are going to be, all of the big announcements. They'll probably talk about the 21-Day Fix Extreme, all the rewards programs, all those things. You're going to get training from other top coaches in the company. And most likely wherever you are, you'll get to do a group workout of some sort also. So make sure you go on, register, and get to an event, because you meet people in your area that you didn't even know were coaches. You can develop great relationships. You can start fit clubs. You can network with people. It really does help your business. So I'm going to encourage you all to go and participate in a Super Saturday event. Also, if you are, have your Success Club points this month so far, right? Or you're working towards that. The one thing that I've been seeing over the past couple of months is that people are not paying attention to whether or not they're actually Success Club qualified. So they're getting their 5 Success Club points and they're saying, oh, I've got it. I'm qualified to get my leads for next month. When in reality, there's a checklist of things that you need to make sure that you've done so that you are getting your Success Club leads next month. So if you go into the My Business category in your Coach Online office and you click on the Success Club lead wheel qualification, it's one of those two there. And then you want to look to make sure everything is checked yes, so that you're in line to achieve your leads for next month. So make sure you have your 90 PV of Shakeology. Make sure you've hit Success Club. Make sure your business services fees are paid. Your bio is complete. You have the club membership, things that we just don't forget about we forget about easily. And I want to make sure you don't miss out on that. So check that out. Also, so as we're kind of going into this week, there are a lot of people that are just kind of, struggling. People have checked out. It's getting quiet. You're not getting a lot of responses. Well, I put a challenge out there to the rising stars, to my emerald to diamonds, my new coach apprenticeship, and I posted this, and it's called Go for No. And it was something we talked about on a team call a couple of months ago, and it's 100 boxes. So I can post this in the group after our call tonight, but it says, go for no. And I challenged everybody to get to 100 no's. And it can be a challenge group invite for your January challenge group. It can be somebody you think would make a great coach. It can be anything. And your goal is to message that person. If they say no, you mark it off. If they ignore you, you follow up one time. And if they still ignore you, you mark it off. And the first person to get to 100 is going to get a prize. And so I'm going to do a couple of prizes is what I'm going to do. And I've already got one coach in my new coach apprenticeship program. Anna Mello did 100 invites yesterday, got 100 no's, filled out her sheet, and I'm sending her a prize today. So, and here's the thing. She had 4 people that are going to sign up to be coaches this week because of going for no. So it really does work. It makes you step out of your comfort zone, and it's a little bit of a challenge. So take today and tomorrow and really bust it out there and go for no, and then take Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off and just post about your family and fun stuff, and then come back in the game right after the holiday and go for no again. So as you hit 100 no's, post this in the group and I will send you a prize. I've got a nice little prize closet for you guys with lots of free stuff that I have. So That's our game plan. All right, let's get going and get right into the meat of our call. So the first person we have online is Katie Ersta. So go ahead, Katie, you can take it away.
All right, guys, can you hear me? Cool. All right, so I know, like me, you guys are probably so ready for the holidays. You're so ready for Christmas. You just need that mental break, right? And I love what Melanie was talking about going for no, but definitely taking the 24th and the 25th off and kind of just re-energizing and getting ready. So, you know, lately, I think knowing, I know a lot of people know my story. People have been asking me a lot lately about how I've become successful this year, despite everything, in spite of everything that's happened to me. So quick background, if you don't know my story, I was diagnosed with stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. This is the year that I was diagnosed. I battled and I beat cancer. And also in terms of my business, I went from being a 5-star diamond coach to what will soon be a 9-star coach. I'm qualifying right now and will be officially 9-star on Thursday. So I think what made me successful was that I know my why. I was always sweating for something bigger. I was publicly telling people about my story, my battle with cancer, and understanding that it wasn't about a Success Club number. It wasn't about a challenge pack sale. It was truly about helping other people and holding myself accountable, because I knew that every time that I talked about a workout or I posted about a workout, people were saying, you know, if Katie can do it, I don't know why I can't do it too. So I think that for me, looking back at my business, which financially has grown, I think Mike is the money guy in this house. I really don't even look at what I make a week, but he has told me it's grown 360% since last year. So I make, I think, three or four times as much as I did in the classroom, which is, I know, crazy to think about, but honestly, it was just understanding and knowing my why. And on my YouTube video, I just posted Why I Succeed, which is just a quick little video about what I went through and how it really was embedded in every post that I did. So I posted with purpose. I knew my why, and I just truly 100% believe that I could help people. And I removed myself from the idea of the Success Club challenge packs, the Success Club points. It always was about helping other people. That's all I got for you. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Katie. All right. Next we have Deidre. Let me switch over to Deidre so you can see her loud and clear. All right. Go ahead, Deidre.
Can you hear me? Cool. Hey guys. So I have a little bit different of a story than Katie did. So she talked about how she had really grown from a 5-star to a 9-star. Mine's a little bit different, and I'm okay talking about this. You know, at first I was a little nervous, but I want to share with you guys that we're going to have our ups and downs, but as long as you can stay consistent, sometimes rank is just a number, but as long as you're growing your team, that's what matters the most. And that's what happened with me. So last year, I was actually going for elite. It was my first year in the business, and I literally went from diamond to 6-star in 4 weeks, 6-star qualifying in 4 weeks. It was crazy. All my coaches signed up at the same time. They all were just really motivated. I had them in push groups, and you know, I worked up until the very last week of Christmas to get my elite points. It was probably the most stressful thing I've ever done, but I realized that one thing that got me there was consistency. And, you know, I reached my goal, and I reached it by Melanie, 1 extra point to get my elite points, but it was awesome. It worked out really well. So my volume on my strong side was 1,000 ending, and I was elite, and it was awesome, but I knew I had a lot further to go. So this past year, I stayed consistent. I really worked on growing my team rather than focusing so much on the rank, because when I focused on the rank, I focused too hard and I kind of pushed people too hard. And the coaches who weren't willing to, you know, go for rank, they kind of fell off, and some of them quit coaching. I had diamonds quit coaching, and I'm okay to say that because I have a team that really wants it bad enough and they stuck with their why, they know what they want. And those are the people that I worked with. So I really stayed consistent with them. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm 6-star still. I am still 6-star. I went from 9-star qualifying to 6, and I should be at 8-star qualifying here within the next couple weeks because my coaches want it. They're really trying, and that's what is important, is they're staying consistent with it. But I'm going to tell you, even though I'm still 6-star from where I was last year, my volume went from 1,000 and now I have 16,000 on my strong leg. It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. That's what's important about focusing on the people who want to work the business. So, do weekly calls with your coaches who want it. Focus on the people who want it, not the people who you want to have it, because that's not going to get you anywhere. And also, the personal development is one thing that's really helped me because I wanted to give up a ton of times. When you fall back and your diamonds lose their diamond and your coaches want to quit the business, it's really hard. So one thing that helped me was the personal development. And I've been listening to a ton of audios. So John C. Maxwell, he's like the whole spiritual aspect of getting motivated and getting pumped up. And then Tony Robbins is my other favorite. And he's like, let's kick some ass and get going with this business because that's the only way you're going to be successful. You make the choice. And that's what it's about. Those are the two people that I really focus on listening to the audios, and it's worked really well. And I share that with my team. I share everything with my team. I make videos to pump them up after I'm done listening to my personal development. That's what I did this morning. Just keep focusing on your team and work together and ask them to take the lead and, take part so you can see who are the leaders in your group. And then that's going to build their confidence as the leader, and that's going to help them build their own team. And then we're all successful and happy. And I think that's all I have to say.
That's awesome. Deidre, my jaw dropped when you said about your volume. That's crazy. That's very cool. Cool. All right. Thank you. All right. So next we have Kristen Richards. She's up next. So go ahead, take it away.
All right. Can you hear me? Okay. So I need to apologize starting off. Everybody in my house has had the flu and I'm fighting it, so I sound a little gargly right now. But let me go ahead and start. So my name is Kristen Richards, and I'm known as the coach who worked as a full-time labor and delivery RN and also came into this business as a full-time Beachbody coach and wanted to make it a business. So my number one tip is, if you are coming into this business because you want to be a business builder, take on that mindset. Make sure that you understand that this is a job, that you're going to have to go through training, that there's going to be ups and downs, that you have to make sacrifices and you have to fully commit to this. So as a registered nurse who worked long hours in the hospital, but I'm also a mom and a wife, excuse me. And knowing that, I had to figure out if this was something that I really wanted and if this was something that I truly believed in. And the reason that I did fully believe in this was 2 weeks into this business, I went to a leadership retreat. So I cannot stress enough to you all to get to these events, go to the retreats, go to Super Saturdays, get to Summit, because if you're not going to those events, then you're not going to see how big and amazing this is. So for me, what kept my fire going was those events and also getting on the Dream Team calls. And as my team started growing, I was able to start taking on the role as a leader from learning from the top leaders. And that is what's starting to grow my team and duplicating it. I did grow pretty fast. But like Deidre said, I also have grown, I could have ended the year 4-star, premier, whatever, but I did lose a diamond completely, and I have one that's in and out between being a diamond. So I started the year as a diamond coach, and I'll probably be ending the year either 2 or 3-star premier coach. But looking back, I'm okay with that because I know that I gave what I could. And my success came from, I was able to go from a full-time labor and delivery nurse to the ability to quit my job if I wanted to, and to know that I have supplemental income because I pushed and I shared my passion and I shared my journey. Is just amazing. My tip number 2 is wake up with a smile and a purpose and a goal. If you're not doing that, if you're waking up and you're just like, this day is just going to be too hard, I don't know where to start, I'm overwhelmed, dig into your personal development, set up a daily task for yourself. And that should be consistent, whether you are working a job, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, whatever it takes. So if that means waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, to do what you need to do, at least you have control of your morning and that you can go into the day with a positive attitude. A lot of people ask me, Kristen, how do you stay so positive and just keep going? And I think about my life and it's like, I know what rock bottom feels like. I know what hard feels like. Hard is being 20 years old with a baby, going to nursing school and working a full-time job and getting no sleep. So this, yes, it's hard, but my passion and my work ethic comes from struggling. And the people that struggle the most and know what it's like are willing to put in the sacrifices now. So if you have a story, share it. Lead with your story, lead with your passion, because people see that and they believe in you. And if you have a list of things that, I really should do that. For me, I really should have been making a blog. I don't have a blog. I'm still working on it. But I really should dedicate and I should be putting my story out there even more. So do what you need to do with that. And then last but not least, my third tip is take on the role as a leader. If you don't view yourself as a leader, you need to start thinking about that, because if you can change one person's life, then in my mind, you are a leader, and start taking on that role. What does it take to be a leader? How are you going to get there? What things are you going to do? And view and train on and go from there. So that is about all I have. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you. You look beautiful today, by the way. I just want you to know. You did awesome. Congratulations. All right. So next we have Marsha. She's up next. Let me get her up on the screen. All right. Go ahead, Marsha.
Hello, my name is Marsha. I started last year as a diamond coach, and after having the opportunity of being on the cruise in March, a new fire was lit within me. I kind of got comfortable in my role as a diamond, like a lot of us I think do. I pushed really hard. I rank advanced really quickly in the business. Like a lot of us on the call, I pursued coaching as income. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 4 kids between the ages of 2 and 8. So when I started Beachbody, I had no idea what a challenge group was. I had used Insanity. I bought it on eBay because I didn't know any better. Shame on me. So I think I earned my diamond in 65 days or something like that. And then I just kind of sat back and I got comfortable. And once I was on the cruise, I met a lot of the coaches for the first time. And I kind of revisited my why and realized that I was in control of my own business and built my husband to diamond really quickly right after that. So I'm currently 5-star elite qualifying. Pushed really hard this year to make it happen. I have some wonderful, amazing coaches on my team. I'm entirely blessed to have, the coaches that I do that I get to work with every day. And I was thinking about what top tips I can give everybody for why maybe I'm where I'm at today. And my husband, Adam, helped me out last night with this. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be here, quite honestly. He went to high school with Alyssa and got us connected with each other. So, just having his support, I think, has really been the key to me pushing. A lot of referrals are people that he has brought to me. And if you don't have the spouse support, I asked him, like, what would you tell, a spouse if they weren't supportive? And he said, just, try to encourage your partner to be patient. It's hard in this business because you're not gaining immediate income right away. I mean, we all know that it takes time. It's a compound effect once you are able to get it into play and into motion, that you do start to see the benefits maybe, 9 to 12 months down the road. So if you can just, encourage your spouse to be patient, that, if you have the belief and the faith in yourself that you can make this business work for you, it will happen. So that was his tip. Sorry, I have a little one here today. All right, my next tip is to have faith in the company. Beachbody is an amazing company. I never read personal development before joining Beachbody, and that to me has been really key in just my personal growth. I always loved to read, but it was like Dean Koontz and mystery novels, never personal development. I would have never imagined like going to the store and buying personal development. So I just love that and what it's done for me personally, not only how it's benefited my business, but just myself and my personal growth. And the systems that Beachbody has in place are just meant to help you succeed. So, do the 3 vital behaviors. Personal development is key, I believe. And then my third tip is to have a plan. So when you go to sit down to work, do your power hour, have a to-do list. Go in with intent. Social media is by nature very distracting. It's really easy to get caught up in your notifications. When you're going to Pinterest to look for inspiration, to get sidetracked, to get caught up on the news feed, on your Facebook. Just really sit down and work off of your to-do list so that you're being productive. And every single day, you're doing some activity that's going to take your business forward. Do your invites, do those really important tasks first. And then if you have time at the end of the day, then you play around on your timeline or whatnot. And then getting plugged in. A lot of the other coaches already have said, getting plugged in. Never miss a national wake-up call. We are so blessed and fortunate to be on Melanie's team, number 1 team in Beachbody. It just blows my mind why some people don't make time to get on her calls on Monday night. They are amazing calls. I always am super fired up after, being on these team calls. So kudos to you for listening in tonight. But yes, I think being plugged in always is really important. I notice on my own team, the coaches who don't get themselves plugged in have a harder time with their success and their growth in their business. And then lastly, here's my baby. She says hi. Always put people first. On my timeline, I always try to add value. I'm sorry, she's really noisy. This is what we do, right? We work from home and have kids. But always put people first, whether it's a coach, a customer, a non-customer, someone who's just scrolling down your timeline. There's nothing better to me than to get a random message from somebody that I know that tells me that I'm, the most positive person in their newsfeed or whatever. Just if I can be that ray of positivity for somebody, I've succeeded. So those are my top tips. I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. You did a wonderful job. All right, so next up we have Val Bazo, and let me go down here and find you. All right, you are good. Go ahead.
How do I top these awesome coaches? I mean, seriously, I think that we just all have so much in common because we all have the same kind of tips and takeaways. But my name is Val Bazo. For those of you who don't know me, I am currently a 5-star diamond, 6-star qualifying. I started this year as a brand new diamond coach. And let me tell you, guys, I had no idea how I was going to get to where I wanted to be by the end of this year, but I set goals. So I will tell you that I was built on almost completely all discount coaches at the beginning of January this past year, 2014. But on my goal board, my husband and I sat at dinner on New Year's Eve, and we wrote out goal boards on our napkins. And I said, I'm going to be an 8-star diamond by Christmas. And he just sat there with a little grin on his face, and he's like, yeah, you can do that, sure. I had no, quote unquote, real working coaches other than my friend and my husband. Those were my 2 emeralds at the time. But I knew that that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be elite, and I wanted to just start building, as a star diamond. So I decided to just go all in with recruiting and really run with my business. So, like I said, as I sit here now, I'm a 6-star qualifying coach. Goals matter. I thought they were silly whenever I first started because I was a mom. I was just a mom, I would say all the time. That's not real. We're all awesome moms and wives, but we're also people. And I know for me, I had lost myself once I had kids. And, people would say, what are your hobbies? and I'd get choked up. I had no idea, like, what did I like? What did I want to do? So becoming a coach, I really think that one of the most positive parts about it has gotten me to come out of my shell and find myself and figure out, okay, these goal boards that people tell us to make, they are saying to do these for a reason. So focus on the goals, and not only just the goals that you're setting for yourself. Dream big, set these huge goals. I had no idea how I was going to get to an 8-star diamond by Christmas, but I believed in myself. So that's my next point. You have to have belief. That is key. And consistency, you know, like Deidre's story, that's amazing. She shared some amazing things because, yes, there are ups and downs. So don't think that, oh, you know, I didn't hit Success Club this month, or I had 3 coaches quit this week. That doesn't mean that you're a terrible coach and you should quit. That means you're normal, and we all have those things happen to us. And they seem to kind of come in waves. So, you know, you kind of pick yourself back up, and I feel like the next wave comes. They say things happen in 3s. I believe it. Guess what? That's tested. You know, you're being tested just like any other job, any other business, whatever you're doing in life. As a parent, as a spouse, we all go through hard times and we all go through great times. So keep that in mind. With recruiting, you know, I'd see, you know, 3 to 5 coaches a month. You should probably aim to recruit that. That's what I kind of started out doing in my business. But then I decided to do something bigger. I decided to start setting my goal at 15 new coaches a month. Why not set the bar higher? You know what? That first month that I decided to write down on my monthly goal board to recruit 15 new coaches, I hit 12. That was the game changer. I always tell my team, set the bar high and then move it higher, because there is nothing that you cannot do when you set your mind to doing it. So focus on recruiting, because I really believe that it's about 1 out of every 10 new coaches that you get on your team who really take off and become successful. My next kind of takeaway with that, work with the coaches who want to do the business. Do not kick a dead horse. If people are signed on just as discount coaches, remember, they just want the discount for the most part. You know, check in with them. I'm not saying just kind of leave them to the wayside, but make sure you're checking in, but don't push people. Maybe somebody really does just want to be an emerald for that extra $100, $200, $300 a month. That's amazing. Work with them and their own goals. Don't try to push them beyond what they really want. And invite like it's your job, because it is your job. Don't sit there and say, oh, poor me, I can't hit Success Club this month. Well, if you're really only inviting 1 or 2 people a day, that's going to be kind of hard to hit Success Club. Again, it's kind of that 10-to-1 ratio. So I really want you guys to focus on going for no, as Mel started out in the beginning of this call. You know, you have to go out of your comfort zone, live out of that comfort zone, and get on the calls. Like Marsha was saying, you have to be plugged in. That was the #1 thing in my business, along with that consistency. I literally said, I was never going to miss a Monday night call, a national wake-up call, or whatever training group I was in. I never missed a call. So get on live, ask questions, and just be in the moment. Work your business and stay consistent. So good luck. Set some really huge goals this year, scary goals, and go all in.
Thank you, Val. All right. So we've got Kirsten Nuss. She's up next. And go ahead.
Hey, guys. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Hi, guys. I am Kirsten, and I started this year as a diamond coach, and I will be finishing this year as a 5-star diamond coach. I'm in qualification right now, so I will be official on Thursday, and I'm also qualifying for elite, so I'm working towards those points. Following up with Val, I have a lot of similar things to say. It's interesting because her and I have a similar journey. We started out as the same rank this year, and we're ending pretty close to the same rank. But for me, it's just breaking it down very simply. I also started this year as a full-time occupational therapist. So I was working a job full-time, and I was doing Beachbody as much as I could. So the biggest impact for me with my business was really focusing on the simplicity of what they teach us. And that is the 3 vital behaviors every single day, not missing a day, and staying, which is the consistency with that. but making sure that you do that power hour every day. I didn't have time to do a lot of the things that I have time to do now, but because I did the power hour every single day and I did the 3 vital behaviors every day, I was able to quit my full-time job in November, which was a huge goal of mine. So in addition to that is, kind of going off again, what Val said is set those goals, have that dream board. That goal of quitting my full-time job and working Beachbody full-time was on my dream board. And it was something that was in front of my face every single day, because there were definitely moments where I felt defeated, where I felt like my giving tank was empty. I had nothing left to give. And I would look at that and say, okay, I can do this. I just need to do my 3 vital behaviors. I just need to do my power hour. So when you do those things, you are leading by example for your team. Your team is seeing that, okay, they are doing the 3 vital behaviors every day. And because of that, you're going to hit Success Club. Because of that, you're going to grow your team, which again is leading by example. So my team has been successful because they've been able to lead by example. And that is because I was able to follow the example that was set before me, which was Katie. And she was able to follow the example set before her, Melanie. So what I'm doing is teaching that to my team so that they too can be successful. So just going off the 3 vital behaviors a little further, for me, personal development was huge. The Shakeology and the working out and the inviting, yes, absolutely important. But personal development for me is what was the game changer. Attending events, getting to every Super Saturday, getting to Summit. And the reason is the personal development that you do every day, it keeps your mind in the right place. It keeps you positive. It keeps you motivated. It gives you those leadership skills that you need for your team. It's amazing when you feed your mind with that it just automatically comes out of your mouth and you just teach it to your team. It's really amazing how it happens. Again, national wake-up calls, I never miss them. I couldn't listen live. I was at work, but there are resources that you can use. Podcast is my favorite. Every Tuesday morning on my way to work, I listen to the podcast replay from Monday. I even went back and would listen to old calls. You can listen to calls from 2012. So every day in the car, I would listen to podcasts of old calls. And that really, really helped me build my business. The other thing I did was the weekly team calls. I don't miss weekly team calls. We have these free, amazing resources available to us. We are the #1 team. So there is no reason why you shouldn't take advantage of that. And if you do, you will pull little nuggets of information from all those calls and all that information, and you'll be able to apply it to your business. And it's what's going to keep you going. I had some struggles this summer, and I spoke to my upline, Katie, and she said to me, and it really rang so true in my head, she said, the compound effect is happening in your life in a negative way. It can happen negatively just as much as it can happen positively, because things were spiraling out of control. My team was struggling. My health and fitness was struggling. My mindset was struggling. And she said, it's going the other way. You have to pull yourself out of this. And how did I do that? Personal development. Honestly, it was Awaken the Giant Within was a game changer for me. I listened to it for 2 hours one day, and it changed my mind. And then everything began rolling again in the positive direction. So just remember, personal development is so important, and getting to those events. Those events are going to spark that ignition within you. They enable you to see the potential of this business. They enable you to see the mission and the integrity behind the leaders in this business, which to me was so important. And they help you realize that the negative opinions of the naysayers around you don't matter. We have a bigger purpose here, and you can tune those people out once you get that why and you find the passion behind what we're doing. And I think that's it.
You did an awesome job. Thank you. I love what you said about the compound effect happening in the negative way. I think that nailed it. All right. So I have Alyssa up next. So Alyssa, let me pin you and you can take it away. All right. Go ahead. Oh, you're muted. Hold on. Okay, go.
All right. Hey guys, how are you? First of all, I just want to say how awesome is this team? Ending the year #1 out of the whole entire network. Seriously, 2014 rocked. And 2015 is just going to be better because we have so many emerging leaders coming up on the dream team that I really am just super excited to see where everybody else is going to go with their business. And so, I look back, a wild ride to say the least. I ended the year last year 5-star diamond elite, and I'm sitting at 15-star diamond qualifying right now. I look back and I don't know, I sit here and I try to think how that all happened. And I want to say that you have to know who your runners are. You have to know in this business who the people that are really matching your effort. And they are the ones that show up on the calls, the ones that are present in your team page, the ones that even after they stumble and fall, they get back up and they keep trying again and again and again. And it's not necessarily those people that are, your top Success Club earners all the time, but it's people that are showing effort. And I know one thing that I really did in my business this year is I started digging down deep into my downline and really working with any of my coaches that were matching my effort and showing up and adding value into my team. And working with anybody, because I have a lot of coaches that are shooting for diamond right now that are way down in my downline, and they might not have that upline support, or maybe their upline is a discount coach. And so my first tip for you guys is to really work with the willing. Even if they're not your personally sponsored coach, you as their diamond or star diamond upline, you can really help them succeed in their businesses as well. And so know who your key players are and make sure you guys are getting on calls with those coaches. I always like to get on the calls with my coaches and find out exactly, give them an action for the following week, so that every week when I get on the call with them, I know exactly what they told me that they were going to do for the week. And then I can follow up with them and see if they actually accomplished that goal or not. If they didn't accomplish it, where they struggled, and try to create an action plan for them so that they can accomplish those goals. And so that leads to #2, goal setting. And I know we talked about this, but this is so important. I look at my business and 15-star diamond was not my goal. It was a secret goal, but it really wasn't my goal. My goal was to end the year as a 10-star diamond, just like a strong 10-star diamond. And 2 weeks before qualifications, I was sitting there talking to my coaches and figuring out their goals and looking at their downline. And I realized that I could probably really push with these people and make this happen. I had runners that wanted to do this. And so it was my own my own feelings, my own beliefs that were really holding me back. But when I really knew what my team wanted and knew that they would be able to work and really wanted to work hard to make this happen, that's when we decided to make this big push and push for 15 stars. So when you talk to your coaches, make sure you know what their goals are, because I think, especially as you advance, you can't make any of your goals past like that star diamond level unless you know what your coach's goals are. So figure out what your coach's goals are, and then from there, make what your own goals are. The last thing, and I know that we talk about this a lot, is controlling the controllable. You have the ability to recruit coaches. You have the ability to post on social media, invite to people, meet new relationships. That's all things that you are able to control. So if you have a team right now that maybe isn't running as fast as you want to, maybe doesn't have some of the same ambitions that you do, know that you have the ability to control that. You can go out, you can recruit new coaches, you can build relationships with new people, and you can bring new into your business and work with new. A lot of times, I've got some coaches right now whose businesses were kind of falling apart, and they were really trying to work with people that weren't motivated. And so my talk with them recently is, you can go out and you can find new, and it's okay to rebuild, but you always have that ability to control those controllables. So when you think about Success Club, when you think about recruiting, all those things we think about that having to do with numbers, you have the ability to change those numbers. That's all things that you have the ability to control. So when you set those big goals, set your goals based on things that you can control, not necessarily what is going to have to rely upon other people. So those are really my tips and the things that I really learned for the year. Last thing really too is, I know Katie talked about this, about that why. For me, my why has changed 3 different times since I've been in this business. So always go back and reflect upon what your why is, because it might not always be the same why as when you first started as a coach. And that why needs to drive you. So like when I first started, I wanted to stay home with my kids. I retired as a nurse. I'm home with my kids. And it really wasn't my driving force anymore because I was home with my kids. And then it was an income goal. And then now I'm back to it's a total family goal. It's just all about my family. And it's all about my coaches, which I consider my family too. So when you think about your why, it's probably going to change from time to time to time. But whatever that why is, it has to drive you. It has to get you up in the morning and make sure that you're consistent with what you're doing in your business. If your why is not driving you, then it's not strong enough. It's not really what your true why is. So take some time to really think about what that why is and make sure that it's something that has a driving, a driving force behind you. Those are my tips for you guys for 2014 going into 2015.
Thank you, Alyssa. Awesome. Alrighty. So let me give you my top tips for 2014 for things that I feel have had the biggest impact on my business. So I'm sure you've heard kind of a common theme, at this point about, what it is that really it takes for you to create success. And so the first thing, the mentality that you have every day when you wake up is so important. So you are not an employee of a company. You are the CEO of your own organization. You get to run the show. And so with that comes different responsibilities that you have not previously taken as an employee in a job. So you have to think like one. You have to think like a CEO. You have to be innovative. You have to be creative. You have to take initiative in your business to go out there and to see a need, to be proactive instead of reactive, and to come up with the ideas and go out there and research what you need. So in this business, we're not waiting for people to tell us what to do, although we give you great systems and team calls and things to give you ideas. The ball is in your court. If you signed up to be a Beachbody coach because you wanted to achieve certain goals, then it is going to take you thinking like a CEO and doing actionable things every single day to get you there, like your power hour and your posts and your personal development, and really making sure you're focused on those things. The next thing is pitching to your niche. There are so many coaches that I have come across, and even myself, like at the beginning of my business, I would say, oh, that looks like a good idea. I'll try that. This looks like a good idea. I'll try that. And I was like throwing darts at a dartboard and just hoping that I would hit the bullseye in my business. And so what I want to tell you to do is to stop taking stabs in the dark. Stop just trying to hope that if you throw something at the wall, it's going to stick. The one thing I've learned early on was to have a strategy and a game plan every single month. And even as an Emerald or as a new coach, you can do this. So set your dates for your challenge groups at the beginning of the month. Know how many Success Club points you want to earn, how many challengers you want to have in a challenge group, how many coaches that you want to recruit, what type of coaches do you want to recruit into your business. Know the type of person that you're looking for so that every time you craft a post for a challenge group or for coaching, that you literally think as if you're talking to that specific person you want to attract in your business. And when you start to think like that, when you start to have a game plan, you will find that you start to attract people to you. And it becomes much less of a let's throw it to the wall and see if it sticks, and it becomes a very strong game plan. And the other thing is invite like your life depends on it. How often do, and I forget where I saw this. I think it was a personal development, YouTube or something I listened to this week. And they said to treat your business and your daily to-do list as if your child is running in the middle of the street and a car is coming by and is about to hit your child. You would do everything in your power to jump in front of that car and swipe your child so that they do not get hit. And when you wake up in the morning, I want you to treat your business as if it is like the end of the world if you don't do these things today. So you want to wake up, and even if you just have an hour, you're looking at this like it is vital to your life. It is vital to you making it through the day, and you invite like your life depends on it. Like when I was talking about this go for the no at the beginning, this is like vital behaviors. The more you invite, the more no's you get. As crazy as it sounds, if you change your perspective and look at it as the more I invite, the more seeds I'm planting, the more possible people that will say yes to me in the future, or I'll pique their interest. They'll start following me. They'll watch me from afar. That is how you really start to gain momentum. Every single coach on this team call today that you're seeing is a leader. They have gone outside of their comfort zone. They have failed many more times than they ever have admitted in their business. They have done it gracefully and not gracefully, right? And so, but here's the bottom line. They never gave up. Every morning, no matter how defeated sometimes they felt, they kept on going. And then lastly, keep it classy. No matter what you do in your business, do it with professionalism, do it with class. Keep it positive. Turn every negative situation that happens to you in your life into something positive. And say to yourself, how can I turn this situation into a teachable moment? How can I make this something that I can go out and inspire other people to overcome? Because I'm having a hard time. I want other people to know that they can do it too. And I look at every situation in life that way. Even though it's hard and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of work, I really try to keep it classy and on the positive. I try to keep my opinions to myself, or if I have an opinion, I try to spin it in a positive way, and make it something good. So at the end of the year, and you're sitting down and you're evaluating where you've started to where you've come from now, look at not just the rank. Don't look at the number of coaches that you signed or how many months you've hit in Success Club. Look at the impact you've had on people's lives. Look at the messages you've gotten. Look at the people that have said you've inspired them to get up and work out. Look at the people that have been able to go off medications or that have been able to quit their jobs. You had a hand in something like that. That means so much more than any amount of money deposited in your bank account. That is truly where the change happens. And don't ever lose sight of the positive things. Chalene Johnson, in one of her podcasts, Creating Killer Confidence, she talked about the first time she came out with her fitness program, Turbo Jam, and how she couldn't wait for the reviews to start coming. And when the reviews started coming, she sat and she read every single review. And there were thousands and thousands of great reviews, but then there was negative reviews. And she got fixated on the negative, and she got stuck on the one bad comment, and it ruined her entire day, ruined her entire week. And she felt her mood starting to shift. And she had to almost jolt herself out of reality and say, I am not going to pay attention. I'm going to put my blinders on, and I'm going to look at the positive things, the people's lives that have been transformed by Turbo Jam, the wonderful changes that people are having. And that's what I'm going to focus on. When she made that shift, and when the 30-day push, the book she wrote, came out, she has not read one single review because she knows that she did the best she could. She put out the best quality work that she could provide. And of course, everybody's going to have an opinion, but she knows that what she did is meaningful and it's changing people's lives. And that's what she's going to focus on. So I challenge you guys to do the exact same thing in your business. All right, so as you go through the rest of this week, I want you to enjoy time with your family. Take Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and just lead by example and just enjoy your time off. But then find your power hour. Find your center. Clear the clutter in your life and get really focused on 2015. I know you can end this month strong. I know you can do it. And I know next year, if you choose to be the CEO of your own business, you too will succeed. All right, Dream Team, thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for being a part of this call. And just a quick one update is I'm not doing recognition on Thursday because it's Christmas. And so all recognition, all rank advancements, all volume, all Success Club points will happen on Friday morning. So if you rank advanced, I know you did. Congratulations, but I'm taking that time to be with my family, and it will happen on Friday in my business. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll see you all next week. Take care, guys.